Annie. And today's flow is going to be a nice, gentle, relaxing flow for after a long day or after a stressful event, just to help you wind down. It'll take approximately 20 minutes to complete. So get ready and we'll flow. So bring yourself into a comfortable seated position. You can rest your hands up or down on your knees, whatever's comfortable. If you need, you can sit on a block if that makes it more comfortable for you, okay? So let's start to connect to our breath. So let's take a deep breath in and relax out. And inhale. And see if you can notice where your breath comes in. Does it come into your chest? Does it come into your belly? Just notice. And we'll take another deep breath. And now see if you notice any sensations. Maybe some tightness, something you're holding on to. And just let it go and let's come back to our breath. I'm going to take one more deep breath. Inhale and exhale. Now let's start to add some movement. Take our arms out really wide as we inhale. And then exhale, take your right arm over your left. And give yourself a nice big hug. Maybe you can turn from side to side a little. And then if you can, see if you can bring your hands together and maybe clasp your palms. Okay? If that's accessible for you, that's great. If not, you can just keep hugging yourself. Okay? Now inhale and bring your chin towards your chest. And if your arms are clasped, see if you can bring your elbows just up and out a little bit. Feel a nice big stretch all across your back and your shoulders. Shoulders are relaxed down away from your ears. And then let's release. We'll take another big inhale. And this time we'll take our left arm over our right and give ourselves a hug. And once again, if you feel that you can bring your hands and clasp them in front of you, you can try to do that. If not, you can just keep your hands hugging around your shoulders. And if your hands are clasped, maybe bring your chin closer to your chest as you try to bring your elbows just out and maybe a little up. And let's exhale and we'll release. Now take your right hand over to your left hip. And you can take your left hand and either put it down by your hip or maybe behind your back, whatever feels comfortable to you. And we're going to take a nice big inhale as we rise our spine tall, and then as we exhale, just slowly start to gaze over your left shoulder. And let's take another big inhale. See if you can get your spine a little bit taller, and then exhale everything out. And just see if you can't just twist a tiny little bit more. And we'll just release. And we're going to come over to our right side. So place your right hand behind your right hip or next to your hip. And place your left hand on your right knee. And you can take a nice big inhale. And as you inhale, rise your spine up as tall as you can. And as you exhale, gently turn and gaze over your right shoulder. And then exhale. Inhale nice and tall again. And then as you exhale, see if you can't just turn just a little bit more. And inhale, we'll come back to center. And now let's come down onto our mat, onto our backs. And let's just kind of slowly bring ourselves into a comfortable rest position. And now bring your legs and your arms out as far as you can. Okay? And just tense your whole body as you try to stretch your feet and your arms to opposite ends of the room. And inhale, a nice big inhale. And then exhale, release all the way down into your mat. And we'll do that one more time. We're going to inhale. Just stretch, stretch, stretch. And exhale. Release all the way down as you get some of the day to go. Okay. Now, let's come over onto our bellies. And we're going to stretch out the front of our shoulders. So take your right arm into a kind of a T outside in front of you. And then you can take your left arm and kind of press up. And as you press up, roll your hips and see if you can't bring your back leg in front of you. You can bring your back leg to the front, or your top leg to the front or to the back. You can just lay it down, whatever feels comfortable. You just want to make sure that you're feeling a stretch across the front of your shoulder into your pectoral muscles. Nice, easy stretch. And then exhale, we're going to come back. Now let's do that on the other side. So take your left hand and we're going to stretch it all the way out in a T. And take your right hand and just gently push yourself up so that you're pulling away from your shoulder and you're feeling a nice stretch across the front of your shoulder and into your pectoralis muscles. Once again, if you can't get this far up, that's fine. You can keep your knee down, you can keep your knee in front. Whatever you can do just so you feel that nice, easy stretch across your chest. And exhale, we'll come back to center. Now push yourselves up and we're going to just bring ourselves into puppy pose. And I'm going to give you the option. You can either just come out into a nice extended puppy pose, forehead on the ground, wherever it is that you come down to. Or if you want a little bit more of a stretch in the backs of the arms, you can take blocks in front of you and just kind of rest your elbows on it, clasp your hands behind, and just hang your forehead down. Belly's engaged, and you feel a nice stretch up your arms, your armpits, and a little bit in your upper back. Just breathe gently. Now, just going to release out of that pose. Now let's come into a tabletop position. So our hands are pressing into the ground. Our shoulders are stacked over our elbows, and our elbows are stacked over our wrists, and our hips are stacked over our knees. And we're going to start to inhale as we bring our hips, our belly down towards the earth, and our head up to the sky, and get a nice little bow in our back. And then exhale, we're going to roll up, suck your belly in, and push it with your shoulders up. As you exhale, do this one more time in a nice cat-cow. Inhale, look up to the sky, belly towards the earth. And exhale, push up, belly comes in, rounding the back, rounding the shoulders. And we're going to release. Now, on our next exhale, we're going to make sure our hands are grounded into the earth. Our fingers, our palms are pressing evenly into the earth. We're going to curl our toes under. And let's exhale and push our hips up to the sky. Now, you may want to bend your knees, maybe pedal your feet out a little bit if your hamstrings are really tight. Make sure that your shoulders are engaged so that the creases of your elbows are facing each other, and that you're wide across the back and your shoulders are away from your ears. Your sit bones are reaching towards the sky, your belly's engaged, your thighs are engaged, and your heels are reaching towards the back towards the floor. Okay, you can have your gaze in between your feet or maybe at your belly. Whatever serves you. And if
If this is too intense, you're welcome to just bend your knees. You can come back to tabletop at any point, or even child's pose if you feel you need to rest. And just take a couple more breaths here. And then on our next inhale, we're just going to walk up to the front of the mat. And let's just kind of hang here in a rag doll. Just loosely hang. You can swing from side to side. Maybe bounce a little. We're just loosening up our body. Just starting to get some juices flowing. And then inhale, and we're going to rise up slowly. And then let's spread our feet out about hip width apart, and we'll just slowly start to twist. Just a gentle twist. Maybe slap the arms at your sides if that feels good. We're just getting some juices, some synovial fluid into our joints. All right. Now let's come into mountain pose. So all four corners of your feet are grounding into the mat. Your thighs are engaged, your kneecaps are lifted. There's a little micro bend in your knees. Your belly's engaged. Your tailbone is gently relaxed towards the earth. Now let's take our shoulders and just roll them up and back. And let our hands fall out towards the front of the room. And make sure that your spine is lifting as high as it can, lifting towards the sky and all the way out to the crown of your head. Let's take a nice deep breath here. And on your next inhale, let's bring the arms to the sky. Inhale. And exhale, turn and bring your arms out to the sides. And then inhale up. And turn and bring the arms out to the other side. And then inhale. And we're going to exhale. I'm going to float all the way down to the earth. And then inhale. And you need your hands on your shins, on your thighs. You may need to bend your legs if you want. But we're going to extend our spine out. Crown of the head reaching towards the front of the room. And then let's exhale and we'll fold that down. And wherever your hands are at, for our next move, you're going to need your hands on the earth. So if you need to use blocks, you're welcome to do that. Or just bend your knees. And we're going to step into plank. So your shoulders are over your elbows, and your elbows are over your wrists. There's a nice straight line from your feet all the way through the crown of your head. Your heels are pressing back. Take a nice inhale here, and then exhale, and slide your shoulders down the sides of your ribs as you come to the floor. At any point, you're welcome to bend your knees if any position becomes too hard, or you can rest in child pose. Now let's inhale, and we're going to slowly curl our body up in baby cobra. And exhale, release. And now if you can, take your arms behind you and clasp them behind you. And if that's too intense a stretch for you, you can just keep your hands by your sides. And this time as we inhale, we're going to try and bring our shoulder blades towards each other, like we're squeezing a tennis ball between our shoulder blades. We're going to roll up, and then exhale and come back down. All right, well, now let's exhale. We're going to push back up into down dog. Hands grounded into the earth, shoulders active, belly in, heels towards the earth, sit bones towards the sky. And let's take another couple deep breaths here. Broaden across your back. Thighs are engaged, shoulders are engaged. And on our next inhale, let's come and walk back up to center again. And we're going to just fold and inhale. Extend your spine. Exhale, fold down again wherever your hands touch on your legs. And then inhale. Let's come all the way to the sky. And release. Now, I'm going to come to the front of the mat, but you're going to stay at the top of your mat. And we're just gonna come into a into Malasana. A little squat here. All right. Now, if you can't get your heels to touch the ground, you're welcome to roll your mat up and place your heels on your mat, or you can sit on a block. Whatever helps you feel comfortable in the pose. Okay. And then as you're here, kind of make sure your belly's tucked in, your spine is long. Bring your hands to prayer position, and then gently press out slowly on your knees to see if you can't get a little bit of a wider stretch. But you want to make sure you're gently pressing and that you're not trying to force a stretch. It just should be a mild stretching sensation and no pain. And take a deep breath here. And then we come back on our seats. And now you're welcome to either just take your feet like this in a nice little twist, or if you can bring your knees on top of each other. They don't have to come all the way on top. And if this is a little too intense, you're welcome to sit on a block. If your knees aren't stacking very well, you can place a block in between your knees. However it is that you need, so that you feel comfortable and that your knees are safe. Okay? And now, if you have a strap, you can grab that now. So you can take your strap in your right hand and bring your right arm above your head, and then slowly grab the strap behind you. As your elbow reaches up to the sky, your elbow is going to point up to the sky, and then bring your left arm behind you as you grab the strap, and you can gently pull until your fingers touch, and if they don't touch, that's okay. And we're just going to take a nice deep breath here. Engage your belly, maybe look up to the sky, just feel a nice stretch across the front of your left shoulder and the armpit and your tricep of your right arm. And release and exhale. And we're going to take our legs and we're going to switch sides to wherever you are at for this pose. If you need to be, if you're on a block, you can stay on the block, or you can put a block in between your knees. You know, wherever you're at, you should just want to be in a place that you're feeling a stretch. And if this is all too much for you, you can go and do a seated figure 4. All right, so let's bring our left arm up, and we're going to bend it down with our elbow pointing the sky, and take our right arm behind. We're going to make sure your belly's engaged, your spine is tall. And then just slowly bring your hands wherever they come up on the strap. And gently see if you can't gaze up towards the sky. Maybe broaden your chest a little bit. And we're just going to release. And let's unroll here. We're going to come on to our backs. And let's take the blocks if you're comfortable. If you don't have blocks, you're welcome to just take your feet up to the ceiling with your legs flexed. If you have blocks, see if you can stack them underneath your tailbone. And then once they're stacked and they feel nice and steady, bring your feet up to the sky and just flex your feet and relax your legs. And just gently let the stress of the day drain out of your feet. Just let everything drain out and have it just drain into the earth below you. We're just going to relax, take some weight off our feet. Take a few deep breaths here. Notice any sensations in your body. Notice any tightness. there's something else that you can just let go today. Let's take one more big inhale. And as you exhale, see what else you can just unload today. And then as you're ready, just gently bring your feet down and remove the blocks. And now let's bring our knees into our chest. Maybe roll around a little bit on our backs. If you feel like it serves you, then you can bring yourself into happy baby. Heels towards the sky, knees sliding down. And you can roll from side to side. And then, once you're ready, bring your feet down. Either side of your mat, and let your knees fall in. And you can either stay here, if that's comfortable, or let your legs come out. Maybe let your feet fall to the sides. And we're just going to start to relax. So relax your feet, your ankles, relax your calves, your thighs, relax your hips. And just start to pay attention to your breath as you relax your belly and your back and your chest. Relax your shoulders, relax your arms and your wrists, relax your fingers, relax your neck, relax your jaw, relax your face, and your eyes, relax your head. And just take one more big deep inhale. And then exhale as feel everything melt down into the ground. Feel the earth below you. Nice and solid, supporting you. Now we're just gonna quietly focus on our breath and complete relaxation. And the next sound you hear will be my voice bringing you back out of your rest position. And here at home, when you have the time, you're welcome to stay in Savasana for another 5 or 10 minutes. And otherwise, you're welcome to come back up to nice EDC position. We're going to take a couple final deep breaths and notice if any of the sensations at the beginning of the class have changed. Maybe you're a little looser relaxed. And bring your hands into prayer position. And thank yourself for taking care of yourself and coming to the mat. And thank you for joining me for this class. Namaste.